like 200 euros or 230 euros max.
अब ये जो लाइन बोली ना, एक ही बार में बोल जाओ बिना पॉज के।
भाई उसी को तो नॉर्मल कहते हैं, उसी को
लेकिन
तो
नहीं कि एक ही बार में बोल जाओ वो बेटर।
रटा हुआ थोड़ी है मुझे।
तो इन इजिप्ट,
वो पता है मुझे क्या बोलना, रुक जा। यार कैसा चल रहा है इंटरव्यू, मेरे को दिखा तो दो, क्या बकचोदी चल रही है।
सही चल रहा है, सही, मैं देख रहा हूँ बीच बीच में। लेकिन अब आप दूर चले गए, थोड़े नजदीक आ जाओ।
अच्छा सही सही जा रहा है, सुन भी रहे हो?
हाँ सुन भी रहा हूँ।
अरे मजाक कर,
वो भी सुन रहे हैं।
कितने क्वेश्चन बचे हैं?
बस खत्म हो गया, 3 है, लास्ट 3 है।
सब कवर हो गया ना?
हाँ सब हो गया।
ये डाल दियो।
ये मेरे से पौजे दिलवा रहे हैं बार बार।
Okay, okay. So where were we?
In today's video, we have Himanshu Sharma with us, who is studying MSc in Energy Engineering from TU Berlin. Now, this course is very special because this course takes place in 2 countries, one in Egypt and second one in Germany. And also the branch in which he is studying, it's a really good branch considering the future scope in mind. So, it will be really nice interview for those of you who wants to pursue your masters from Germany. So let's get started with today's video. Right. Hey guys, what's up? I'm Palak Lakhani. In this channel, I make educational videos focusing mainly on studying, working and living in Germany. So if you are new here, consider subscribing. Himanshu, welcome to my channel, and could you please introduce yourself quickly?
Yeah. So hi guys, my name is Himanshu Sharma. I did my bachelor's in 2015 from Delhi College of Engineering. My branch was mechanical engineering. So yeah, then after that I have a work experience of 3 years in India in power industry. After that, now I'm pursuing my masters in energy engineering, as you mentioned. The degree is called Masters in Science, and it has in the umbrella of Energy Engineering department there are 3 courses. So I'm doing the Masters of Science course. Yeah, I am in my master thesis semester. So hopefully I'll be finishing my studies in December. Yeah.
Okay, good. Which courses did you apply to in Germany?
Okay, so as my background was related to the energy industry, I have worked in oil and gas sector. After that I worked for mostly coal-based power plants. So I wanted to shift my domain from conventional energy sources to renewable energy sources. So I applied to particular domains which were related to renewable energies. So I applied. There was a course in University of Freiburg.
Okay.
And there is a course which is a dual degree with University of Kassel. It was a Ramina course for renewable energy. Then I applied for this TU Berlin Energy Engineering course. I also applied for SRH Hochschule Renewable Energy course. Okay, yeah.
And what are the requirements for this particular course that you are pursuing?
Okay, so specifically this course is not very strict about your bachelor's percentage. So holistically your profile matters, your work experience in the energy industry, relevant industry, interest, your letter of recommendations, your IELTS score. So there is not specifically any requirement for German language certificate, which basically most of the courses in Germany have. Also your bachelor's background should be from mechanical engineering or power engineering, or also electrical engineers are eligible, chemical engineers are there. So yeah, the background should be relatable.
Okay. Could you please tell a bit about the fee structure, because as you told me earlier that this is paid course?
Yeah, that's kind of drawback for this course. When you hear a name TU Berlin, then that's a public university. So most of the courses it offers is free. That's not paid. But this TU Berlin campus Alguna is not coming under the main campus, and it is a paid course, and it for the whole course of 2 years cost you 20,000 euro, not around, and your living expenses are apart from that. You have to pay your fees in installments. So for my degree, MSc degree, you have to pay, like first semester you will pay for 4,000 euros, then 6,000, then 6,000, then 4,000 euros. Yeah, that's the fee structure.
Good. And how did you finance yourself?
So initially I took the loan. When I got the admission, I took the loan, but after paying my first semester fees, when you come to Berlin you have part-time opportunities, so you can somehow support your studies also. depends how do you manage your studies with your part-time jobs. So I took the loan.
Okay.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Most important question, how do you apply for this course? Via UniAssist or directly to the university?
Yeah, the course is applied directly online. So you send your documents, all your documents to the website of this course. You need your score in German grades, German grading scale.
Also mentioned earlier that the visa procedure that you go through is completely different from what we normal students have to go through. So
Yes.
could you please tell a bit about this entire procedure?
Yeah, the visa procedure is not like regular German school visa procedure. This study takes part for my course, for MSc course. This study takes part. The first semester you will be in Egypt. Second would be your even semester is in Berlin, and your odd semester is in Egypt.
Okay.
So first semester you have to get the visa of Egypt and not Germany.
Okay.
So getting an Egyptian visa is not a headache. You can get it easily from any of the embassies, and the fees is also very small. So once you enter into the Egypt, firstly you will get the tourist visa for Egypt.
Okay.
That's for 1 month only. When you get into the course, the administration will help you to extend your visa from tourist to student visa. That's the residential visa.
Okay.
When you will be, you will be completing your first semester, you will be at the end of the semester, administration help you to get the German visa.
Okay.
So that's a very important, very it's a benefit for us that administration help us to get the German visa.
Okay.
For the visa thing, there are some special things which is due to the collaboration of TU Berlin with the Ausländer Behörde. So we don't have to show. I'm talking about my course, MSc course. The IT guys are having different criteria. For us, we don't have to show blocked account. We also get the exemptions for the German public insurance, health insurance. So you just have to pay for your visa, for 1 year visa. That's around 5,000 Indian rupees or 6,000 Indian rupees, which you have to pay to the administration. They will take you to the Cairo embassy. In there, the whole procedure has been carried out with the help of TU Berlin administration. So you
Okay.
don't have any headache of this.
Okay, good. As we were discussing earlier, that there are also some drawbacks of this kind of visa.
Yeah.
So what are those drawbacks?
Yeah, also I didn't mention that from this year they have changed that with the collaboration of this TU Berlin Ausländer Behörde, you can also apply for the regular visa with the blocked account.
Okay.
Why they gave this kind of option is because the students were complaining of the restriction with our visa. Mostly, actually, the problem is being faced by the seniors, like I'm pursuing thesis, 4th semester. So with our visa, we got the time period from like April to January next year to complete our thesis. If we don't complete our thesis within this time, you have to go back to your home country, or you have to finish your thesis in Egypt, and you cannot apply for the job search visa here.
Okay.
And the problem would be when you apply for the job seeker visa in your home country, you get it for 6 months only.
Okay.
And if you apply here, then you get it for 1.5 years. So this is the restriction with that. But with the regular visa thing, which I told you, they gave us options. You have to show your blocked account, you have to show the public health insurance.
So it's like how other students are generally doing it, right?
Yes, actually it depends on the on your choice. If the student thinks that he won't be able to complete his thesis and he may need the extension of his visa, so yeah, he goes for the regular thing. But due to this corona pandemic, this has backstabbed it. Why? The regular visa takes more time than our TU Berlin visa. So when they were supposed to get the regular visa, corona happened, and their passport was on hold in the embassy because they were not issuing any more visas. So they are stuck. Either they were having the option to take back the passport and go to the home country or whatever, or just stay there in Egypt and wait for the visa.
Okay. Since this course is a paid course, I think for most of the students it would be interesting to know that are there any scholarships that are provided in this course. So you mentioned earlier like there are 3 or 4 kinds of scholarships.
Yeah.
So please mention them in
So
detail.
DAAD, which you all know, for the German education system, it's very important thing. So DAAD offers specifically for our course, it offers 3 kind of scholarship in which Indians can apply, or maybe most of them, and also there is one more scholarship for Egyptian guys.
Okay.
Okay, so what are the 3 common scholarship in which we can apply is, one is the DART Surplus Scholarship. This is an annual scholarship which you apply and you get a reduction in your fees of 2500 euros straight reduction and 500 euros per month for 1 year.
Okay.
That's the most important scholarship, and actually that's the most difficult one. The other scholarship is the DART General Scholarship. What it has is, it only sponsors your Berlin stay. So it will give you 425 euros for 6 months only for the even semester.
Okay.
So you apply for the for this scholarship in even odd semester. When you are in first semester, you will apply for the second semester, and when you are in third, you will apply for the fourth semester.
Okay.
And the last scholarship is kind of everyone gets this scholarship. This is for the German course. They sponsor our German language course. They give, on the basis of the student attendance, they'll grant 1300 euros after the completion of the German course. Okay. Yeah.
How is your entire course structured semester wise?
Okay, so as I've also already covered that we have to spend 2 semesters in Egypt, and the rest will be covered in Berlin. So for us, for MSc guys, they try to cover most of the courses in our Egypt stay. So that's kind of very hectic time period for us. And for the Berlin, for the second semester for MSc guys, it's kind of a little bit easy, not easy, but it a little bit less hectic. But we are also having option to choose electives from the MBA course. So yeah, you can do many courses, you can do part-time in Germany. Also, you don't have option to do part-time in Egypt with your visa. In Berlin, you can do part-time. Yeah.
Okay. You also have an internship opportunity during this course, right? So what are the requirements for this internship?
You have to get the credit for the internships.
Okay.
The time period they mentioned for that is 2 months internship. At the end of your second semester, that's the time period of August and September, but that's not the opportunity because you don't get it so easily.
Okay.
So for the internships, you can apply online, as well as you can go through the online portals. You can contact companies through LinkedIn and whatever. But why is it not so easy? Because when you apply for the internships, you are in Egypt.
Yeah.
You are in first semester, and when even the company will like your profile, they'll ask you for the personal interviews. You cannot go because you are in Egypt. So they I'm talking about my experience. Anyone can have their own experience. So yeah, so I applied for, like, I've contacted people on LinkedIn for like 6-7 months, but when I came in Berlin, luckily I got the internship. But that's not the case for everyone. So people find it difficult, because when you approach a company that we are gonna stay in Berlin for a few months and then we have to go back,
Yeah.
they eventually lose interest in you. So that's also, as everyone knows, to find internship or job in Germany, language plays a very important role.
True.
So when you are spending time in Egypt, you have very less exposure, no exposure for Germans.
Yeah.
So you even if you have some basic knowledge, prior knowledge of German, you cannot practice it there. So yeah, that's kind of drawback to live in Egypt and to find the internship.
Okay.
One more thing in the internship requirements phase, I forgot that if you won't get the internship, which is very difficult for us, you can take, for the credits, you can take a course called pinch analysis. which will be taught by one of the professors in TU Berlin. So you don't have to be worried so much for the internship.
Okay. How did you apply for thesis?
Okay, so for the thesis, there are various options. Like in general thesis, I mean, for every course you have those kind of options. First, you can get a topic of your choice. You can approach your professor, your university professor. You can talk about the opportunities, the feasibility of that project. That's most of the time that's not paid. The second thing is, it is somehow recommended that if you get the internship, then it is kind of a bit easier to get the master thesis in the same company. But as I said, due to this corona thing, that's not the general case. Okay, so that's the second case, that you can apply in thesis in companies that's paid. Third, you can even apply for the research center. So I am pursuing my thesis with Forschungszentrum Jülich. It's an institute for energy and climate which does techno-economic studies for the energy system. Okay, yeah, these are the three things. For the research centers, they got the fundings for the specific projects, so it can be paid, and the stipend depends on the funding they have. Yeah.
Okay, good. So on what areas is your curriculum mainly focused on?
Yeah, that's a very important point to discuss. Actually, once you apply for the course, it is very important to go through the course curriculum on the websites. Sometimes people do not emphasize on the course structure because they want to be in Germany and do some course. But to be honest, one should only go for the course if the course curriculum is of his interest. So I'll tell you about my course. My course is not only about renewables. It gives, as the name suggests, energy engineering. It will cover the conventional part, the thermodynamics of the conventional part, that is the power plants, the normal power plants. It will also cover few aspects of the renewables. Not in very depth, but it will cover like PV, wind, very little part of the wind, but it will give you the idea, and very less part of hydro, and I mean just the introduction for these. So with the course modules, as I said, with the technical parts, it covers the conventional parts. With the renewable, it gives you the introduction and also some in-depth detail of the electrical part of PV also. It will cover the energy economics part. That's a very important part in energy, I mean the industrial part, the economics. And it will also cover the module of project management.
Okay.
Yes, and also the storage.
Okay. As a mechanical engineer, did you face any difficulties in the beginning when you were starting this course?
Background plays a very vital role in your studies. So luckily my course was more favorable for the mechanical guys, because in the starting you do all the basics of thermodynamics for the people who are from the different background. For you it is like a revision, but for the other guys, like electrical guys, chemical guys, it's kind of very new thing. For us, there was one module in electrical which was new for us. Apart from that, it was quite favorable for mechanical things. So my basic fundamentals which I studied in my graduation were played very important role in my studies.
But the exams conducted in TU Berlin and also in Elguna campus, like do you have written exam or oral exam, MCQs, presentations?
That's the structure is basically same for every German university. So you first you have for most of the modules, you first have to give the written exam. If you are not able to pass it in one attempt, then there is another attempt which is also written exam. Even if you are not able to pass that attempt, I mean for any reasons, you're ill or something like that, then the professor will take oral exam. But after, if even after the oral exam you won't be able to clear that exam, then you will be exmatriculated. But that's, I guess that's not a point of concern, because that's not very tough to clear the exam in 2-3 attempts.
The most important thing, like you talked about both the countries like Germany and Egypt. So now let's talk on the basis of 3 points, like first thing is accommodation, second thing is part-time, and third thing is expense. So on these 3 bases, how would you describe your Germany experience and your Egypt experience?
So first I'll tell you about the Egyptian experience. With the visa you have in Egypt, you cannot work part-time, but even you don't even have to do part-time there because the expenses are quite less.
Okay.
You can survive there for like easily survive there for like 200 or 230 euros because the accommodation you get is subsidized because they have the TU Berlin campus have collaboration with an Orascom authority there for the accommodations, and you don't have to you don't have any headaches for finding the accommodation, unlike in Berlin. In Berlin, finding accommodation is the biggest mess and it's not so cheap.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have covered accommodation. You'll get the accommodation 5 minutes walk from the campus.
Okay.
And it will not cost you much. It will cost you around 1200. There are shared apartments for 2400 Egyptian pounds.
Okay.
So 1 Egyptian pound is 4 rupees roughly, Indian rupees. Okay, then the next point was the part-time. Part-time is not possible. The expensive I've covered. Yeah. In Berlin, finding accommodation, you have to be on your toe to find the accommodation. If you are, you have to check for the Facebook groups. You have like online portals like House of Nations. There are subsidized apartments for the TU Berlin, for the students, basically the public university students in Berlin, which is called a Studentenwerk.
Yeah.
But you have to apply it in advance. There are generally 3 semester waiting to find an apartment in Studentenwerk. But they are quite subsidized. If you don't get an apartment for the student in Studentenwerk, you have to pay like from 300 to 350 euros for the accommodation, and living expenses would be like 100 euros or 120 depending on your expenses. Yeah.
Okay.
So in conclusion, I've already covered all the drawbacks and benefits for this course. So every person has his priorities. So you have to decide that it's good for you or not. For me, the course was pretty much better for my career because I was working in conventional, so it gave me a track to go into the renewable part. I also did my internship. I was lucky to get the internship. I hope I'm very positive about after covering my thesis part. So I hope I'll be able to land a good job.
Okay. Good. Thank you so much, Himanshu, for this detailed interview and sharing your experience with the students. And I hope it helps all of you to decide if you want to pursue this course or not, because this course, as Himanshu mentioned, is not a free course, which usually Germany is famous for. So if you can manage to gather like 20,000 euros, or you can get a loan or something, then this course is for you. Of course, you can come to Germany, and TU Berlin is one of the most renowned universities in world. So the final decision lies in your hands. So we tried our best to answer each and every question. Now if you still have any further doubts, then you can leave them in the comment section below, and maybe Himanshu or I will try to answer all those questions, and if possible we will also make another videos on that particular questions. If you like the video, then please give it a thumbs up, and if you loved the video, then also consider subscribing my channel because it's free. So that's it for today, guys, and take care, stay safe, and see you in the next video.